Hey, fourth graders, welcome to today's YouTube math lesson. We are going to be talking about adding and subtracting decimals. So let's go ahead and take a look at some problems. So adding and subtracting decimals is very similar to adding and subtracting whole numbers. In fact, we use the same rules. So let's go ahead and take a look at an adding problem with whole numbers. Whoops, there we go. All right, so I have a whole number problem here. And it's not set up so that I can add it. So what do I need to do? Right, I'm going to write it up and down. So I'm going to make sure that my place values line up. So I'm going to make sure that the tens go under the tens and the ones go under the ones. Very good. All right, so let's use this same rule doing a decimal problem. Just like we would line up our addition problem with whole numbers, we are going to line up our addition problem with decimals. So we have 15 and 32 hundredths. And now I'm going to go ahead and put 4 98 hundredths, making sure that I line the hundredths with the hundredths, the tenths with the tenths. My decimals should line up, and then my ones with the ones. So I'm going to put 4, decimal point, 9, and 8. And I can see that I have my hundredths lined up, my tenths lined up, and my ones lined up. And now we're ready to add. So you add just like you would whole numbers. 2 plus 8 is 10, carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 9 is 13, carry the 1. We're going to make sure we bring this decimal point straight down. So when you line up your decimals, that's what you're going to do. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So my answer is 20 and 30 hundredths. All right, super important that you make sure and bring down your decimal. It comes straight down. All right, let's take a look at one more problem. That's a little bit different, but we're still going to be using the same rules. 19 and 8 tenths minus 10 and 34 hundredths. Now, I'm going to go ahead and write 19 and 8 tenths. Now, this could be a little tricky because I see in this number, it only goes to the tenths place, and this number, it goes to the hundredths place. So what do we do when we have a blank? Very good, we're going to add 0. Now, 19 and 80 hundredths, we learned last week, is the same as 19 and 8 tenths. Now, both numbers go out to the hundredths place, and we can line up our decimals just like we did in the addition problem. Making sure that my decimals are lined up. I have my hundredths, my tenths, the decimal point, ones, and tens. Good job, and now we're going to subtract just like we normally do. All right, I can't take 4 from 0, so I'm going to have to borrow from the 8, and that becomes a 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 7 minus 3 is 4. And what are we going to do with this decimal point? Very good. We're going to bring it straight down. So all of my place values line up, even in the answer. 9 minus 0 is 9, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So our answer is 9 and 46 hundredths. Good job, kids. All right, I hope that helps. Watch this video as many times as you need to, and I will be there to answer any calls if you have any further questions.